Hello. All right, guys. What we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna add a few pages to this feed reader so that we can get rid of this main page.xaml. I'm gonna talk to you about how to do that because we're gonna have to remove a couple things in here and pass in a variable. So let's go over to the ESPN Feed Reader RSS and right-click on this. We're gonna click Add, and then we're gonna click New Item. Right here, what we're going to go ahead and do is have an items page, then we want a split page too, and then we're just going to do a blank page because we're going to go ahead and show sort of like a web view. Basically what an items page is it sort of tiles these and groups them and gives you a little bit of information, and you can add click event handlers to these and they'll take you to another page. Now the split page is where it gives you more information about each one while putting the other in a list view, and then you can navigate to those and they're sort of adjacent to your article. And in the basic page we're just going to throw a web view in there, so let's just call this items page.xaml. Go ahead and add that in there. It's going to say yes, do you want these? It depends on some other files which you're missing. Say yes, you need those. Alright, that's going to be saying it's going to load the designer. I'm going to have to wait a couple seconds I guess here and until that go ahead and load. Checking my phone real quick while we're sitting here. Stopwatch. Alright, now we got that one. It's going to go ahead and say the name layout where a page does not exist in the namespace using blah blah blah. It's okay. Leave that there. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is I want you to add another page. You're probably looking at me and you're like, oh my god, there's errors. That bothers me. Alright guys, we'll do this. Let's take a split page. We're going to take out a split page. We're going to call it split page.xaml. This is where it gets split up. List view adjacent. Add that page. Alright. Then what we're going to go ahead and do, and it's going to give you even more errors, we're going to add, and we're going to go add, and click new item, and click a basic page. This is going to be where we're going to go ahead and put like our web view, and I'll go ahead. We can call this, what do we want to call this? Let's call this just detail page so that people can do some details on it. Or detail. I like detail, singular. Okay. Now it's going to go ahead and freak out here. It's like, oh my god, you just added a whole bunch of stuff to me. Let's rebuild this all. Okay. So while this is rebuilt, 1 succeeded, 0 failed, 0 skipped. My application, we got that going on, and I like that. That's pretty. Alright, now what we need to go ahead and do, we need to go back to this app.xaml.cs that we were just at. Okay, and we need to make some changes to it. The reason why we do is because basically what it has is on the onLaunch method, it passes in a variable. Okay, and I'm gonna have to see if I can find this here real quick. The onLaunch method of the app.xaml. Let me see where, because I just saw it when I was looking at this real quickly before. I just saw you guys again. Okay, right here we are. So when navigation stack isn't restored navigation to the first page, configuring the new page by passing required information as a navigation parameter. See, we have that main page that was created when we created the project. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to type in items page because we want that to be the first page that people go to. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I just saved this. I'm going to go over here, and I am going to go to main page. I'm going to right click on that. I'm just going to remove that now. Get rid of it. Alright, it might give me an error for a second. That's okay. I don't care. We'll fix it in a little bit. Alright, now what we need to go ahead and do is we're going to go to the items page. Not this items page.xaml, but we need CS. If you've never worked with Visual Studio, if you right click on here, and you go view code, or you can right click on over here and go to your items.xaml, blah blah blah. We're going to go down to, and what we need to do is, let me see if I can find what we need. This load state method. Okay. inside of these projects, they give you to-dos, basically assigning a bindable collection to an items to the default view model. Now, if you started this project and you added an items page, it already has a view model established. Basically, it's saying, okay, I've got some tiles, I'm going to fill up with some info, so I need to have some bindable information. We already have that, so what we're going to go ahead and do is give a little bit of space in there. All right, one more. We're going to type in feed data source. All right, and we're just going to call that feed data source again, because we're on another page. It doesn't matter if we called it that on another page, but that's what we're going to call it, feed data source. And we're basically doing the same thing that we just did a minute ago. App.current.resources, because we need to tell it, hey, I got some resources. Check your library for the resources, and there they are. So feed data source. All right, we're going to go ahead and close that off there. Now what we're going to type is if this feed data source is not equal to no. This looks really similar to last time, right, guys? We're going to go ahead and open this up, and we're going to type in this.default view model, and we're going to say items, so that's what it's called, equals feed data source dot feeds. Right? So this dot default view model items equals that right there. Now we can build this application. If you guys remember in the feed data class, I only put a couple of feeds in here. So all we're going to show up is basically with 2 boxes. If you want to add some more feeds, all the other boxes will be populated. It's going to look pretty sparse here. I think it's sparse is the word. So we're going to save this, and I want to go ahead in local machine, and I'm going to run this here. And you're going to see it's going to pull that up first. Now, it's going to go ahead and show you, default's going to be my application, right? So it should be showing. Hopefully it doesn't show in another screen because I have another monitor I normally connect. All right, this would be filled with your splash image normally, and that's what they see first. And we can also decrease this amount of time that they actually see this logo image or whatever you have here. Let's go to the next area, and it's going to take a second. Possibly, you might have to reload it one more time. And it's going to show a grid basically of those feeds because it's pulling in the info. It says, hey, I got this info. I'm going to send it through your loops. I want to make sure your feed data class is correct. And it has to make sure you got a connection. I'm going to pull those in, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you what you got to do. All right. So let me go ahead and stop this real quick. Make sure I got this here. Let me go back to my app.xaml. Right click on it. Oh, we got it next door. Make sure that's the items page, type of items page. Arcs. Let's save all of this. Let's do this one more time. See if I can get that to go away real quick. If not, plan on this being this tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to fix it. But it should come through. Everything is correct. May just be configuration I have on my computer because I'm making other stuff right now too. So let me check it out. Alright, let me see how. What did I call that? Items page. Yes, that's what I want. Come on. Come on, drag in, Lewis. God, guys, sometimes this just happens. And stuff doesn't work out the way you plan it to, even though you do it correctly. So, it's part of technology, but we'll get it worked out. Alright. build the solution. I guess we want to stop debugging.